Donald Trump pushing back now as more women are coming out of the woodwork to make charges against him. Jessica Leeds says Trump groped and kissed her while sitting in first class on a commercial flight. That was back in the 1980s. Rachel Crooks says he kissed her years ago while waiting for an elevator at Trump Tower, where she worked for another company. Natasha Stoynoff is a reporter for People magazine. She claims Trump tried to force himself on her during an interview. Former Miss Washington Cassandra Searles claims he grabbed her backside and invited her to his hotel room. Meanwhile, Miss Teen USA contestants say that Trump saw them naked in their dressing room. And CBS has released a video of Trump saying that he would date a young girl 10 years later in the future when she was older. And a former Miss Arizona recalls Trump entering the contestants' dressing room.
You're like
everything
a doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him, get his attention. Who do you complain to? He owns the pageant. So there's no one to complain to. Everyone there works for him.
All right, Trump tweeting earlier, the phony story in the failing New York Times is a total fabrication written by the same people as last discredited story on woman. Watch. All right, Katherine Timpf is a columnist for the National Review, a Fox News contributor. Bernard Whitman is a former Bill Clinton pollster and a CEO of Whitman Insight Strategies. Kat, I mean, the problem he has is that you heard it in that last thing about the Miss Teen USA pageant, is that he was on Howard Stern basically bragging that he did something like this, and then someone comes out and says he did it. I mean, in some ways, in that one in particular, you might say, where's the controversy? Because he said it before, and now she's saying he did it. It's not like it was unknown.
Well,
I mean, I'm not saying it's
right.
okay. I'm saying it's not that it was unknown.
Of course you're not. But of course, now he is running for president, and he hasn't been, I guess, living his life planning to have been running for president.
Right.
But he was, and it's not just the one thing. It's the things pile up on and on and on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each other.
Right.
It's just the fulfillment of the narrative that everybody that's attacking him has been pushing. So
okay.
I think it gets harder and harder for people to defend it after that, even though they had already known it, but they weren't paying attention.
Okay, so Bernard, as a strategist, let me ask you this. What if you took a different tact? I mean, so the things that he's accused of doing, he sort of said along the way, oh, I can't help myself. When I see a beautiful woman, I have to have Tic Tacs and kiss them. I walk backstage at the pageant. He's kind of admitted to these things. Is there another strategy where you come out and say, I don't know, something else, rather than saying this is all a lie and attacking the women? Is there some other way to go about dealing with this in these days?
Yeah, he could be honest and say, I am fundamentally unfit and unqualified to be president.
No. I mean, in the hang on. I understand your disgust, and I totally get that you don't think he's qualified, and a lot of people think that he's not qualified. But if you were trying to defend, if you were trying to strategize for someone like this, yeah, what would you do?
I'd take a line out of Jerry Falwell Jr.'s book, which I think his father's probably turning over his grave, to say he's a changed man, and to claim that suddenly he's a completely different person.
Interesting.
The fact is, I and millions of Americans actually happen to believe Donald Trump, the unvarnished, unscripted, unprompted Donald Trump, which is on all of these tapes.
Yeah.
You see, he's talking about bragging about sexually exploiting women and threatening them and intimidating them, and then you're having another 6 women today, I think by the last count, coming up and saying he actually did this.
Granted, no doubt. Is there any chance that this backfires, Kat? I mean, this is another thing I've heard during the day, and I'm just trying to play out all the unobvious strategies around here. Remember, it didn't work against Bill Clinton in the end. I mean, we watched that. You're too young, but we watched that campaign when there was this pile-on of women.
I am young, but I also do know that Bill Clinton has been accused of sexual assault or harassment by more than 10 women. And Bill Clinton is a unicorn. Bill Clinton seems to be a unicorn when it comes to this. There's been nobody else who has been repeatedly accused by more than 10 women and seems to still be a feminist hero. It's bad. It's what Bill Clinton did was bad. Hillary defending was bad. What Trump's doing is bad. It's all bad. It shouldn't be a political issue. It should be a human issue.
Yeah, well, without question. But then this is kind of where we are in this campaign, and I understand your outrage on Donald Trump, and without question, but there are a lot of people on the other side who feel the same outrage about Hillary Clinton and feel like she's so corrupt and she's a liar, and then there's Bill Clinton, and that both of these people are deplorable. So maybe at some point you set aside that they're both kind of horrible.
You can't, Melissa.
And you vote on the issues.
You know what? I wish we were here today talking about other issues than this extraordinary issue of sexual harassment and sexual abuse and sexual predatory behavior. But we're not. You know, we could be talking about the fact that Donald Trump wants to give away $3 trillion to the rich, which was reported by the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday. Nobody's talking about it. Unfortunately, we're talking about character. And if you compare the two, you could elect the first woman president, or you could elect someone who has spent his life intimidating women.
You're talking about denigrating to women in and of itself to say we should elect someone just because they're the first woman president.
Donald Trump has a pattern of intimidation, not only of women, but of Latinos, of Muslims, of African Americans.
So this is the latest thing. This is Trump on Entertainment Tonight. Remember, this was back in 1992. He's talking about a young girl. This is the one we were talking about in the beginning. I'm going to play it for you and let you, the audience, be the judge.
Soon. Thursday night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? Okay.
Okay, Kat. So this is what this is coming down to.
Cute. That's not a cute thing to say.
It's not cute. This was 1992. I mean, he's not saying, let's go on a date right now. I mean, it just, in some points,
what do you mean he's not saying, let's not go on a date right now? He can't because he would go to prison for that. No, but I understand what you're saying, where you're coming from, but this is a repeated pattern, just like so many negative repeated patterns that we see with Hillary Clinton. But you can't deny, you got the tape on the bus, you got this, you got all these women come out. Right. You can't deny that he has he expresses at least these predatory tendencies towards women.
Absolutely.
We've heard him say it himself.
Absolutely. That's why I think Bernard's strategy is actually genius. You have to just come out and find religion if you want to get around it.
This makes me want to throw up. And I was having a conversation yesterday with two Trump supporters who said, you know what was ultimately the death knell for their support of Trump? They're talking about his own daughter in a disgusting way, talking about how voluptuous she is in her early 20s. It's just not normal.
I think a lot
this is not someone that we want to be president of the United States.
At both of the candidates in the entire election.
It's a whole different level of barfing.
It's different kind of barf, I guess. All right, guys. Thanks to both of you. Appreciate it.